Hi, you guys. Not so crazy lady here. Can't make say not a crazy RUFKM news raw bitch moment. So, I wanted to do a video about information I have, the 35 years I've been studying, and the jackass comments this guy cannot seem to stop making, even after the olive branch was extended. Even after I took down the video because I said, sister, you are better than this. Then I get this. Fair use, buddy.
So this is probably the last video I make on this subject. The thing is, I have gotten in way too deep. And shit is happening. There's nothing I can do about it. Things are being changed right before my very eyes. The gematria is changing right before my very eyes.
Listen to this guy's voice very carefully. I don't know. Does he have more than one channel? Is this a game he plays? Schizophrenic, maybe? I don't know. I want you to go away. Because if this is the life you choose, I or nobody else, whether one channel had 4,000 subscribers, which took me and my subs a long time to gather, or one channel that has 400. But your insults only come back at you, and that is the law of reversed effort. I tell people all the time, the thing we use right here is the same as a Ouija board. It's no different. You can talk to humans, or you can choose to talk to demons. It is motive and intent. And once you open that door, because we are surrounded by them, this is the realm. The demons are the souls of the bastard children of the fallen who unlawfully took human wenches as wives. And the wickedness and the perversion that came after it, and the slaughter and the bloodshed that took place just bringing these abominations into the world, there is no rest for them. There is no place for them but here, just beyond our vision. Some of ours. But the veil is thinning. So in his 3 short years of studying this and talking to disembodied evil entities, trust me on this. Trust the documentation you read. Restless spirits, whether human or demonic, are because they have nowhere to go. You denounce God, or you disbelieved, or you are one of them. Did it ever occur to you that some of the bloodline may not have a place to go? See, human beings think they're so smart. You cannot, on an intellectual level, compete with these entities. They are the souls of the men of renown. So, he says,
Seymour at the antique mall or at the St. Vincent de Paul's. 2 days later, it fell out of the back of my truck. I cannot find it. I was more amused that I saw it and I recognized what it was supposed to be. And that's what the numbers told me. It was in a barn, in a barrel. And there was a barrel at St. Vincent de Paul's. But that weapon, that weed cutter, is now missing. And my fingerprints are all over it.
So a weed whacker or weed cutter is a weapon?
In a barrel. And there was a barrel at St. Vincent de Paul's. I was more amused that I saw it and I recognized what it was supposed to be. I found that Seymour at the antique mall or at the St. Vincent de Paul's. 2 days later, it fell out of the back of my truck. I cannot find it. I was more amused that I saw it and I recognized what it was supposed to be. And that's what the numbers told me. It was in a barn, in a barrel. And there was a barrel at St. Vincent de Paul's. But that weapon, that weed cutter, is now missing. And my fingerprints are all over it. I have no idea what the whole plan is. But somebody has taken it. And I have a
Yeah, like the way you did.
For something I did not do.
Then you shouldn't have picked it up.
I don't know what else to say. Everything we've been told is a lie. There is no heaven. Everything that they told you is going to happen is going to happen. In Revelations. That is what they're setting everything up for now.
Duh.
The numbers are all correlating to specific people. And the only choice I have is literally run. Because who I'm supposed to be, I do not want to be that monster.
Then don't be it.
That is who they want me to be.
You don't gotta. Nowhere in here,
I've always been a
nowhere in here does he mention God.
person, and I will continue to be a good person. But these numbers, they control who we are,
No.
what we do, where we go, things and events that happen.
Maybe for you.
The gematria rules everything. And I'm scared.
You
I
should
don't know
be.
what's going to happen. But I'm defying them, and they know it. I was talking to them on Echo Box. And they have literally threatened me. They have threatened they were going to kidnap this girl I was seeing. They threatened that they had murdered this girl I was seeing. I broke it off with this girl. I cannot marry this girl. I cannot be with this girl. It is too dangerous. It's too dangerous for me to be here with my family. I must leave. And I cannot come back. They want me on the run. That's what this is all about.
Then you're giving in. You're giving in to the demon.
There's nothing I can do about it.
There is one thing you can do about it. So here's the other thing that really bothered me about this situation. So let's go to this.
Hi sisters, James Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're thinking, wow James, you look not good, I would be thinking,
Well, James, no, actually, I think you look fine. Okay? This has nothing to do with your video. This guy just happens to be commenting on somebody's name. So don't take this personal. Okay. This one here. So let's look at the comments. I want to show you the one. I have no idea who this person is. This is just crazy. Everybody's so worried about their look good. Somebody, Shisters and Nerds Unite. I'm trying to look for the quote that said, we're like two ass cheeks after the shit, for the shit we've gone through together. That's how people talk to each other now. I don't know what happened to it. It disappeared. Maybe it's on the next one.
Hello, guys. It's me, Nikki. Hello.
I can't take it.
Yes. It's
Yes.
currently 6 in the morning, and I just rolled out of bed and sat down and filmed a video after going to bed at 4 a.m.
Okay. These are the comments I'm getting from this guy. The Grim Reaper is a messenger of God.
So this is probably the last
Okay.
video.
So, 2 days ago, after I'd taken all that shit, I said what people called me, and I didn't like it. I said, you're crazy. So then I came back after I took down the video that I did because I felt bad about it. And I usually don't do that. He says, you have no idea. That's why I spent 3 years learning advanced numeric systems the elite use. Do you know what an elite is, lady? They are kings, pharaohs, presidents, even the Pope. And what entities am I dealing with? The devils. What did I tell you? The demons and the archangels. You go ahead and live in my satanic Freemason fantasy where you pretend you are smart. Your whole 400 subs. How many subs does this guy have? 150. I never told anyone to believe me. Okay? And you're just too stupid for your own good. I'm on an intellectual level you can't even imagine. You couldn't imagine. A classroom of college graduates couldn't do what I have done. Yes, I am the Grim Reaper. You and 100,000 more I could point out on a fucking Reddit thread. I speak their language. I will command the Reapers. I will clean up this shithole. You'll thank me later. If the bad guys don't get you first, your problem is your mouth. Ranting over fake scripted CIA, FBI, government bullshit. They can't fool me. They prey on the stupid. Ranting, and you fell for it. They're Luciferian. What do you expect? You don't even know the fucking difference between Luciferian and Satanism, you dumb son of a bitch. Go ahead. Troll me. Soon enough, it's not going to be a question of who I am. It takes 90 hours to read the Bible and possible 50 more to decode it. That's all? It takes a lifetime, you stupid son of a bitch. That's a very big commitment. You were not chosen to do it. How the fuck do you know what I was chosen to do, you arrogant, insane narcissist? That's what you are. You're a fucking narcissist. You don't have the intellectual comprehension. You think you do because you're possessed. You don't know the difference between a Luciferian and a Satanist? You know nothing from what you're talking about. You are going to be ruled. Oh, motherfucker. So you better hope I rule you. I'm the nice one. You're playing with the wrong bitch. So I'm going to educate my subs and share with them some information on what a Pinocchio looks and acts like. You're just a puppet. I've already been through 30 years ago what you're just now waking up to, little schnookums. So, out of this book, which is the occult, the art which is called Goetia, being that of incantations, of sorcery, fascination, and of the illusions in postures connected therewith, has come somewhat arbitrarily to signify the last issue in diabolism of a more Catholic and general art, which is termed practical magic. The later designation implies that there is a magic on a theoretical side, or as it may be, a philosophy of the subject. And this again is of two kinds. In modern days, it has embodied various attempts to provide an explanation, a working hypothesis for alleged phenomena of the past. Of old, it came forward with the accent of authority, and carrying the warrants of a particular and secret knowledge, it taught rather than explained. Besides this, there is in virtue a specific assumption. There stood the source of such authority, the schools or schools that issue, so to speak, the certificates of title, which the records of expounding master are supposed to shew that he possessed. You have me confused, mister. Now you want to talk about Freemasons, right? You want to talk about organizations, right? Let me tell you what I see with the Masons that I deal with. These are the guys that are taking these kids to the hospital, donating their time, their energy, their money to pick up the slack where lazy fuckers like you don't take care of your village. You want to be a reaper? You want to kill? Oh, that's right. You don't want to do those things, but you have. Or you're supposed to. You're possessed. You're talking to demons. Why the fuck should I believe anything you say? You are of your father. And I will tell you something else, you little weasel. You will never rule me. I've got a bullwhip waiting for you and a riding crop hanging on the wall, and I haven't forgotten how to fucking use them. You have no clue what you're talking about. You think just because you know a minutiae of information, you have an understanding? You'll never rule me or anybody else, because the collar around your neck by the demons you worship won't let you. Not once did you bring up God. Not once did you bring up Yeshua. Yet you want to lie? Ye shall be as a God, giver of life or taker? I have never in my life felt the need to pray for somebody so much. What else did you say? Well, that's why I've spent 3 years. I know rabbis that have been studying since they were 3 years old. I know Essene scholars, Dead Sea Scroll scholars, that have been studying them ever since they were released, whatever little they give us. I've got more books on what you play with than you could ever find outside of a bookstore or a library or somebody who studies like me. I don't go after people, but I don't ever allow anyone to say the shit you said. Troll you? I ain't got time to fucking troll you. I'm too busy trying to keep from being trolled by psychopaths like you. What's this shit about a weapon? What's this shit about a girl and the demons killed her? What the hell are you talking about? I don't want to have to report you, but I am seriously concerned about the things you are saying. You don't know what anyone was chosen to do. You don't have that much power. You don't have that much insight. Anything the demons say to you is a lie. I extended the olive branch until this shit popped up. I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to, but you're talking to the wrong bitch. I spent 25 years as a priestess. You don't know about talking to demons or angels. You don't know. Angels of God come to us under direction with specific assignments. Demons are free to fuck with your head. And you open the door. And you want to blame everybody else? You never, ever will rule anybody. You can't even rule yourself. This is the conclusion of a book that took a man 47 years to put together. As part of the root matter out of what comes the lying art of spirits, there stands forth the hypothetical efficacy of adoration, prayer, and ceremonial acts of worship in connection therein. But in magic, that efficacy can be manifested only over things trivial or abominable, because it is obvious that for any higher purpose, we should have recourse thereto through ordinary channels of prayer. If the hypothesis of prayer is true, magic is out of court on the side of holy things, because there is a more excellent way of obtaining the great gifts, the good gifts, and the gifts that do not pass away. But if it is not true, magic is out of the court also, because it depends from and comes down to earth with that false assumption which is at its basis. As a matter of fact, magic, white or black, is the attempt to direct the admitted efficacy into evil channels to compel the infernal cohorts with the assistance of the blessed hierarchies, and to enlist the sympathies of the latter on the warrant of their appeasing invocation and foolish or discreditable transactions. I should add that I characterize as of the essence of evil the desire over power, which puts the owner at an advantage over those about him by interventions of an occult nature against which it would be generally impossible to guard. I characterize these acquisitions of knowledge without learning in the same way and for the same reasons. The other ambitions, desires, greeds do not need express condemnation on my part, for they speak too plainly on their own. Out of the mouth of the proper hypothesis, the pseudo-art or science is that of the abyss. It remains, however, in most cases, the abyss of evil intention, as the operator is left with his base, sordid, sorry, or facetious ambition, and not with the fruition thereof. It may seem at first that they have been breaking lately worms on larger wheels, which would have been required for Gargantua, Behemoth, or Leviathan, but I am concerned first of all with the preservation of the sacred tradition inviolate, and with the separation of fungoids and diseased and monstrous growths which has come to overlay it. The magic of the ceremonial rituals is no part of the real tradition. It is not in any form we know it of the veils thereof, nor are they even its debasements. At the same time, and as we have sufficiently seen, they do represent a very far distant, a stream of adverse tradition, and it is that of Jewry in their prescription and suspension of the greater and age-long exile. It is no question that the mind of Israel, which produced on one hand the signal mystic testimony of the Zoharitic literature, on the other betray the kind of preoccupation which has given us ceremonial magic at their last evolution in the pit and pools of thought. And this is their side of importance. It is only which has justified the present consideration and to the length which it has been extended. So you playing with gematria and Zoharic lies makes you one of them. I have no fear of you. I have more concern of the people you come in contact with. In this particular book, this minister, like I said, spent 40 years. And one of the books he mentions is The Cloud of Unknowing. And the Secret Traditions. The distinction between, hang on, but let me go back a little bit further. The opus of occultism is, of course, comparable to the empirical science of the psychic side of things, which is being followed at the present day, and this was written in 1940-something. With circumspection and keenness all over Europe and America, it is a poor compliment in one way to the institute of comparison, because that which has passed through the amblix of occultism is the dregs and the lees of thought, intelligence, motive, and all that goes up to make up the side of action in man. Physical or psychical research, on the other hand, has throughout been actuated by an honorable, often by a pious motive. It has adopted a scientific method, so far as the subject would permit. It has put forth no claims and abides judgment by results. It is, of course, from my point of view, very far from the term. I don't believe for 1 minute that anything responds to its methods from the unseen side of things which can bring good to man by the intercourse. But it has to be remembered that every supra-mundane or abnormal fact which is registered by this kind of research is so much evidence added to the dossier of occult science. If the phenomena of scientism is as a physical or psychical research has registered, the old processes of magic may be unquestionably veridic processes within their own lines. They did not put the operator in communion on the highest subsubmission with Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel, or with Astaroth, Belial, or Lucifer on the lowest, any more than psychical research and spiritism has ever established intercourse with the souls of the faithful departed. But both have produced the extraordinary pathological condition and the phenomena of soul manifesting. The distinction between the two methods is that one is usually the result of personally induced hallucinations, complicated by the frequent intervention of abnormal psychic facts, the whole following a more or less manic ceremonial action, while the other is the scientific investigation of similar and analogical states in predisposed subjects whom the operator may seek to control. I have no reason to suppose that sober, ordered, and well-judged methods of such experimental research will succeed in taking the subject into any grade of certitude that will be of permanent value to man. And the question closes here so far as I'm concerned. The indications, such as they are, gather rather on the other side. The path of certitude is in the inward man, as it stands to all reason that it must be, if God and his kingdom are within. There is thus, on the best and most temperate hypothesis, no object is going towards any other direction than thither wherein is contained the all. Two things only remain to be said. It will be seen in the first place that from the part of the secret tradition in Christian times, with the summary details of which I open the present conference, there could never have been any derivation to occult tradition and so-called occult science. In the second place, the work which hereafter and now follows shall permit the rituals of white and black magic to speak for themselves as to the tradition therein and of its value. Now, in this second part, I'm going to show you these, and that will be for my subs. Some of these pictures I've taken out before. And some of you might recognize some of these demons. Some of these, I have to actually put this book, it's falling apart, it's so old, in a binder. So the numbers rule, if you follow this demonic King Solomon, all of that stuff. As far as your Freemasons, your Shriners, people like that, I don't know what to tell you. The majority of these men that I interact with, I've seen take children. They don't care if they're legal or illegal. They don't care. Their joy is seeing a child walk after an amputation. Seeing a head trauma child learn how to speak again. While you're talking about missing weed whackers and being in connection with demons, these men are going within. And when there was nothing but superstition and death all around, they were the ones that kept the light on. And then Christianity came into being. Who do you think Jesus was? Yeshua was. You think he was a poor carpenter? He was a mason. There aren't a lot of trees in Jerusalem. He was the cornerstone that the bad Masons rejected because they chose the Baphomet. You don't hear about the good men that work. You don't hear about the men that only go to the Blue Lodge because they understand they don't want to go any higher. They are the same men who didn't want to be career cops. They're the same guys that took a patrol for their 25 years in service instead of rising through the ranks because they didn't play the good old boy game. They're the same guys that stood behind their friends. People want to give men a shit about going to war because they were lied to. So when you go to war, you're not there to defend the flag. You're there because that flag represents your brother who would fight for you. I am putting this into this video for two reasons. One, I don't take no shit from anybody. And two, you need help. And I'm asking everybody, if you have it in your heart, to pray for some protection for this guy. Because he's so far deep into it, they've got his mind. I don't know who they are. But he's got some days who are giving him problems. And I don't know if it has to do with the spiritual level or he pissed somebody off in something he's done in this reality. But I don't know you, and you don't know me. And you don't get to tell me you're going to rule me at all. I'm a dead shot, motherfucker. I don't. I'm not. I will never be a fucking victim. Again, ever. You don't own me. You don't own my mind. And YouTube and you aren't worth it. So I'll make you a deal. You stay the fuck off my channels, and I won't come to yours. Don't think for a second you'll get away with this again. I ain't your bitch. I'm not your child. You ain't my daddy. You're not my ruler. And you certainly ain't the fuck my god or boss. You got your own shit, buddy, to worry about. You got people playing spook games with you. I suggest you stick to that. And oh, if that girlfriend of yours is missing, I would be concerned too. Because not only do you not understand the right to remain silent, you don't know how to practice it either. Some people are just not wise in who they choose to fuck with. Have a nice day.